this is our like 3D printing area. Here in this area, you'll be able to do all your soldering work and something like that. Okay. We'll be keeping all the like sensors and everything inside this shell. Okay. So I'll just take a round trip here so that you guys can see the whole lab. Okay. So did all of you like the lab?
Yes, sir, very much.
Good. Okay. So once COVID is over, you could come back to your school, okay? And you could use this ATL lab.
Sir, is there a place where we can program our own games and all?
Yes, you can do whatever you want here. See, we'll give your like laptops and all. We'll provide you here at the ATL lab. Okay, you can use
Teacher,
them to do whatever you want. We'll also teach you how to do that. Okay.
can we create our own games and code in the lab?
Yes. See, let me just ask that, sir. We do have laptops here, right? Laptops we have, right? Yes, laptops we have it here at the
Sir,
ATL lab, so you could actually use them. Okay, you can use them to do
so
whatever you want. And
if we are given access to like able to code this all, we could actually create our own VR games.
yes, see that's why you actually have your VR goggles, right? So that you could make your own game and you could actually try it on your own. You make your game in on the laptop and try it out on the VR headset. It will be fun, right? We are coming power bank. You could actually smartphone devices to use power banks. See, next we have our drone kit. This could actually be assembled. Okay, you could make your own drone and you could fly them. See, wouldn't that be interesting? So this is something that you could come here and do on your own. Okay. And next, see, this is actually something called the robotics kit. I told you guys that we can make a car, right? Remote control car. Actual remote control car. Okay, with my phone. Okay. And then moving on, see, we have a few connecting cables there. And see, we have something known as a Raspberry Pi here. See, it's called the Raspberry Pi. See, this is actually a computer. Okay, if you can connect a monitor and a keyboard and mouse to it, this is actually a computer, a Linux-based computer. Okay, so when you come here, you could set up your own computer. Imagine that you guys setting up your own computers, right? And see, you also have something interesting here. Can you tell me what this is? Hmm? What is this?
Lego!
Yes, Lego. See, you can play with Lego. See, so that's something else that we have here. So now moving on, see, we have a few motors and all, right? See, we have wheels. We have another few motors here. A few here. So what can we do with these motors? You can build whatever you want, right? So you
Sir,
can
we
build
can
them on this
build
one.
things that can move on wheels.
Yes, exactly. See, we also have all the connecting cables here. And can anyone tell me what this is? What is this?
Sir, it seems something that is like a dropper or something, like chemistry and all.
See, it's like it looks like a crank and shaft, right? See, this is actually like it's actually works like an engine here. See, when you rotate this one, the whole thing is moving, right? So this is the piston, and see, you learn about it when you come here, okay? We also have a few kits here. See, look at this one, water sanitation kit. Then we have something called the piano kit. You can make your own pianos here. See, biotech kit, or you'll actually learn about all these things, okay? And you also have some batteries here. Have anyone of you seen this one before? What is this? Hmm?
Sir,
It's
is it
actually
a
something known
microwave?
as a DSO. Okay, so when you are making something, you can verify your output here. Okay, if it's working properly and all, you can verify it with that one. And see, you have some other like tools which you can use for soldering and all. Okay, for doing electrical works, you'll need these things. Okay, when you are making remote control car and all, you can use those things. Same here. See, we have a lot of resistors here. So all these things can actually use for making circuits. Okay, see, we also have a lot of LEDs here, and these are capacitors. And now, see, moving on, we have something here, Nino kit. So this is actually something you could actually learn on your own. You'll be having something like a cello tape, okay, but it will be conducting cello tape. Just imagine a cello tape that could conduct electricity. So you can make a lot of project with the help of this one, okay. And next, we have something called the turn kit. See, yesterday I told you guys that we can make a remote control car, right? Remember? Okay, so I'll show you guys
Yes,
how to do
sir.
that good one now. Okay, just wait for 1 minute. Look at it. It has a small display. As it is, just power it on. Okay. So now, how can we program this one? How will we control it? See, for that we have something called the BIOS software. Connect it with your phone. See, when I click on this one, see, it turned blue here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it actually turned blue. And now, see, we'll have to program this one. We'll program our turn kit. This is actually the program. We'll teach you guys how to do all this, okay? And we'll upload the program. See, it's memorizing the program. Now let's take our remote. Now let's see if it works. See, all these things were actually controlled using my smartphone. Isn't that fun? See, you could do all these things on your own when you come here. Okay, we have plenty of such kits here. Okay, so now let's move on to something a bit more interesting. See, this was fun, right? So, what about something like a humanoid? So now let's try using this one. It started walking on its own. Okay. So now our humanoid is actually under our control. What we can make it do? Why not push-ups? Humanoid, say hi. Okay, roll over. See, isn't that fun? Okay. So children, see, we saw all these things, right? But how is it possible? How did the humanoid dance? How did that robot move? So all these things like require sensors and actuators. There are a lot of components that actually go into like making all these things. And see, these are few of such components here. Okay. So there will be a lot of sensors in here. Okay. So for example, if you see here, can I see this one? Not sure if you are able to see it properly, but there's a sensor. There's a sensor here, or it's actually a Bluetooth module. Okay. So let me see if I can open this one. This is actually something known as a Bluetooth module. Okay. So we connected our robot to our phone, right? How did we connect it? We connected it using something like this. Okay. So this one, it is actually a separate module, but in our robot kit, see inside this one, it is actually inbuilt to it. Okay. So we learn how to use all these things. Okay. We could connect it between two devices. We can connect it with our phone. There are like many applications for this one. Okay. And can you see this one? This is known as DA11. That one is actually used checking temperature. Yesterday I told you guys about the fan, right? A fan that turns on automatically when we walk in. So for that we should know the temperature, right? Yeah. So with this sensor we'll be knowing the temperature. And see, this is actually a heart rate sensor. With this sensor we'll be able to measure our heart rate. See? So you'll also learn how to use all these things. We have mics here. We have many other sensors here. Okay. So if we start telling it in detail, it will take a lot of time. This is one of the like important sensors. This is something called the IR sensor. Okay. So this sensor is actually used for measuring distance. See, if you want to make a car that avoids obstacles, we could use that one. Okay. And can anyone tell me what is this? What
Is
does
that
this look like?
Sir, it's a joystick
joystick or
control.
Yes, it's a
sorry.
joystick controller. Yes. See, you can make your own joystick, right? You can make your own
Oh.
joystick for controlling whatever you want. Okay. And see, there are like many such sensors here. Okay. So assume you want to make an automatic water tap that actually turns on automatically. You can use this one. This is actually a pump. So if you'll put it under water, it will pump out water. And see, I told you guys that we have something to measure distance, right? That IR sensor. So with the help of this one, when we bring our hands close to this sensor, it will automatically sense it, and we could use that pump to pump out water to make a water tap or something. See, a few of you guys yesterday made a like shampoo bottle design with like automatic dispenser, right? Remember? See, there also we can use the same thing. We can put this one inside the inside the shampoo, and we can use this one to see if our hand is close by. See, you could bring your designs to reality here. Okay, and see, this is something interesting. So this is actually something known as the GSM module. So what is like GSM and GPS modules used for? We also have a GPS module. Have you ever heard of GSM and GPS? GPS, I am quite sure that all of you know. What is it? What is
Sir,
GPS?
GPS is navigational. It has
Yes,
navigational purposes.
exactly. See, so GPS is for getting your location. Okay, for that Google Map and all. We can use the same thing here. Okay, so now let's move on to the next set of sensors here. See, yesterday I told you guys that when we walk into a room, we can identify that, right? This is that sensor. It's called the PIR sensor. This sensor is actually used for sensing motion. So when somebody walks in, we'll be able to sense their presence with the help of this sensor. And see, we have an LED display
Sir,
here. Yes,
um, with all these, we could actually make something like a headset or something that we put on when we feel hot, and
see, you
then
can
like
make
it measures
whatever
our
you want.
temperature. It will measure our
So you can make
temperature
whatever you
and
want. If you can
turn
imagine
on
about it,
fan.
you can make it here.
Oh,
Okay. So see, yesterday I also told you guys about the lights that turn on automatically, right? See, when people walk in, it can be sensed using this sensor, right? But we don't want the light to turn on when it's like daytime, right? When there's enough sunlight, we don't want it to turn on. That's when we can use something like this. See, this is called an LDR module. This sensor is actually used for measuring sunlight. If there is sunlight, we don't want the light to turn on, right? Okay. So see, next we have something known as the ultrasonic sensor. See, does this one look like a speaker? Tiny speakers, but
sir,
it's not a
it
speaker.
does
Okay, it's
look
actually a
like
speaker.
tiny speakers.
Yes, it does look like tiny speakers, but see, it does emit sound. But we won't be able to hear this sound because the sound created by these sensors are in ultrasonic range. Okay, we cannot hear ultrasonic sound.
So, sir, is it so loud that we cannot hear it?
Yes. It's not too loud. The frequency is too high that we cannot hear it. Okay, these sensors are actually used for measuring distance. We'll learn about it later. Okay, and then here we have something called the RFID. See, these actually come with a sensor and a white card. Okay, so what can we do with this? I'll tell you what we can do. See, in front of our door, if we keep the sensor, see, we can keep the sensor there and we can carry the card with us. So only people with this card could actually unlock your door. See, you could keep the sensor there at your door, and only when you keep that white card in front of that sensor, the door will open. See, so you can do
Sir,
actually a
so
lot of
it's
things here.
technically like a key card. A key card.
Yeah, exactly. This is exactly like a key card. Okay. Okay. So now see, we learned about a lot of sensors there, right? We learned about a few motors there. But how do we control all these things? That's where we use this one. Okay, this is called an Arduino Uno, something called as a microcontroller. So you learn how to operate this one. Okay, with the help of this microcontroller, we'll be controlling all those sensors and everything that we see in this lab. Okay, it's called the Arduino Uno, and it has a bigger brother. It's called the Arduino Mega. Okay, it also has a small sister. It's called the Arduino Nano. Okay, so there are like many type of these Arduino boards. Like depending on your use case, it will actually vary. Okay, and then who can tell me what is this?
Sir, is it a VR set?
Yeah, it's a VR set. So you can actually use these VR sets inside your ATL lab. Okay, wouldn't that be fun?
What? So
Yeah,
we could
it's just for you
create
guys to
games
use.
and we could play it. Um, we could play
So you
our
can do
own
whatever you
games
want
and
with it.
we create them.
So you can even create your own world and you could walk inside it. Okay, so that's the VR
Sir,
headset.
but what
Okay,
if we walk and walk until we smash into a wall?
that you have to be careful. Don't worry, you'll have your teachers here to guide you. Okay, if you're going towards a wall, we'll stop you. Don't worry. Okay, and see now we have some like some basic things like sandpapers, paper tags, like wire tags, and all we have. See, I told you guys that we have something related to arts and craft, right? We already saw the sewing machine. So here we have like a few more things here, like thread, like glue, sticks. So there are a lot of things you could actually do with these things. Okay, these are all related to the arts and craft, and we have like sandpapers. And see, this is called the styrofoam board. You can actually make a lot of models with this one. Okay, like once you come to the lab, we learn how to use all these things. Okay.
Sir, inside the
Yeah.
arts and craft, do you have a Tesla tube?
I think this is the last thing that I wanted to introduce you guys. What is this? What is this, people?
Um, uh,
It's a telescope. Okay.
yeah.
See,
So we look into space.
you can use your telescope here. There'll be like a lot of things outside, right? With the help of your telescope, you'll be able to see all these things. Let me see if I can focus something on this one. 1 minute. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it through the camera here, but I'll try. Can you see?
Sir, I see leaves.
Yes. See, those trees are actually very far away from here.
Sir,
It's
can
near
we
that
look
building.
into space?
See, you can do whatever you want. See, that one is for looking at closer objects. So you have something called the 3x barrel here. See, with the help of this one, you will be able to look at objects which are like way far further. Okay, this is actually 3 times. So you could actually use all these things when you come to your ATL lab. Okay, so let's go back to our
We
3D
have
printer here.
we have a
See, now the
microscope.
print is actually over. Let's take it out. Because there was some excess materials on the top. Let's remove that. This is what we made. See, if you have your own models, you could bring it to the ATL lab and you could print it out. Okay.
Sir, do we have a computer so that we can have 3D models and objects printed?
Yes, you can use the computers here at the ATL lab. Okay, you will have computers here, you can use that. Okay, you can make your own 3D models, you can download 3D models, you can do whatever you want. Okay, but for that, first you'll have to learn how to use all these things.
So,
Okay,
so does
and
it
how do we
have
learn to use all these things?
we will just try until we find out.
We discussed about a word yesterday, right? What was it?
Discover.
No, see, ATL,
Inventing.
ATL lab. What will you guys
Tinkering.
do? Yes, tinkering. Okay.
Tinkering.
Okay, so see, you have a lot of equipments here, right? You'll have to tinker with all these
Yes.
things. Okay. So see, I hope you guys could come to the ATL lab soon and we could like try all these things out. Okay. So is there anything in special that you guys want to see?
Sir,
Okay,
I
so
would
before
like
we
to
come
see
to
if we
that,
could
let's
have
wait. Yeah, I'll just show you guys the lab around. Okay. This is our like 3D printing area. Then here in this area you'll be able to do all your soldering work and something like that. Okay. We're having our classes there. We'll be keeping all the like sensors and everything inside this shelf. Okay. So I'll just take a round trip here so that you guys can see the whole lab.
Sir.
Okay. So did all of you like the lab?
Yes, sir, very much.
Good. Okay. So once COVID is over, you could come back to your school, okay? And you could use this ATL lab.
Sir, is there a place where we can program our own games and all?
Yes, you can do whatever you want here. See, we'll give your like laptops and all. We'll provide you here at the ATL lab. Okay, you can use
Teacher,
them to do whatever you want. We'll also teach you how to do that. Okay.
can we create our own games and code in the lab?
Yes. See, let me just ask that, sir. We do have laptops here, right? Laptops we have, right? Yes, laptops we have it here at the
Sir,
ATL lab, so you could actually use them. Okay, you can use them to do
so
whatever you want.
if
And
we are given access to like able to code this all, we could actually create our own VR games.
yes, see, that's why you actually have your VR goggles, right? So that you could make your own game and you could actually try it on your own. You make your game on the laptop and try it out on the VR headset. It will be fun, right?